Welcome to The Impact with Robin Dorsey. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me here tonight. I'm so excited to be here with you yet again on this fine Friday evening. Thank you so much for joining me. Of course, as you know, we have some amazing and fantastic guests always in the studio for The Impact with Robin Dorsey here at WBGR Sports and Entertainment Network. So, of course, I have another fantastic and phenomenal individual, and I cannot wait for you to meet him because he is simply amazing. So, without further ado, let me tell you about my guest here tonight. So, his name is Gerard Pinkney. And what you don't know about this brother, he got it going on. Can I just tell you, the brother is sharp. But we're going to give you his formal introduction, and then we're going to break into some of these questions that everybody want to know. Because, of course, we all like to know some good information. So we're going to get into that, too. So without further ado, let me introduce him. So, Gerard Pinkney, he is the president and CEO of GP Promotions, LLC. He graduated from Morgan State University with a bachelor's degree in business administration. He worked for the federal government for over 35 years as a project manager. Man, 35 years for federal service. I'm telling you, the brother is bad. And that's not even all that he does. I can't wait till you hear the rest. But 35 years of service, I commend you. That is phenomenal. As a project manager, and he also served 12 years in the private sector too, doing project management. So he can tell you a little bit about everything in both worlds, and you got to have that experience because you can't just be limited to just the government or the private sector. You got to have a little bit of flavor for it all. His company motto is the best in old school entertainment. This has been the mission of GP Promotions since its inception in September 2009. The founders saw a void in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area of quality professional presented entertainment for lovers of old school music. I mean, who don't love some good old school music? Yes, that make you feel good. That good music that you can sit in your car and in your house and just groove to all night. Because the music that we have here today, it's okay, but it's nothing like a little bit of old school flavor. Let me just tell you. So, he also, focusing primarily on the music from the 70s and the 80s. So I'm a 70s baby, born in 77. So, he has some music from my genre, but, that's my parents' type of speed. But we love some good music because their music was phenomenal. GP Promotions set out to produce shows and events featuring primarily nationally known R&B acts, representatives of glory days of Motown, the sound of Philadelphia, and Memphis soul. Yes, I love that. Major acts including Grammy Award-winning acts have graced the stages of many of the most prestigious venues in the Washington metropolitan area and beyond. GP Promotions have presented a who's who in the R&B genre. Their productions have included such acts as Gene Chandler, The Manhattans, The Temptations, Eric Benet, The Stylistic, Harold Music, and The Blue Notes, and the list goes on and on and on and on. So without further ado, let's welcome Mr. Gerard Pinkney. Hello and welcome.
Well, Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I tell you, that's quite an introduction.
Oh, no.
I hope I can live up to that.
Oh, you're going to do fine. With your background and experience, you are phenomenal.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you inviting me.
Thank you. So let's get into some good stuff and stuff that my wonderful audience wants to know. So, where are you from?
I'm from, I was born right here in D.C.
Yes.
I grew up in Capitol Heights, Maryland.
Okay.
Attended Central Senior High School in Capitol Heights, and I've enjoyed this area. I love Washington, D.C.
Yes.
This is my town.
Awesome. So so I know everybody say, oh, if I want to make it big in this industry, I have to relocate to LA or Atlanta. But you didn't do that. You didn't relocate.
No.
You kept it here, the heart and soul of the DMV.
So much talent here in
Yes,
the
there
DC
is.
area. I started working with a lot of local talent. I started doing parties. And before I got into promoting shows,
Okay.
I've always loved music, and I've always loved the nightlife. Yeah.
So you was a night owl.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was a night owl.
Okay.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time down on the waterfront, down in Channel N before they closed that.
Oh, yes.
Because I always loved live, and I love live music.
Live music,
Live
yes.
music, that's my thing.
Awesome. So what instilled the passion in you for the R&B music? Like, so when did it first start? Did you realize that, you know what, I like this music? So were you listening to the music from your parents? Did you take some of their records? What happened?
No.
Tell us about that.
I've always loved, I'm a 70s person. I grew up in the 70s era during the protests and all of that. So I grew up listening to groups like the Manhattans, the Temptations, Supremes, and it's kind of funny. I grew up listening to all of these groups and loving them, and now I work with them, and they know me and I know them.
Yes.
So that's really the exciting part about it. Getting to know people that you idolized as a teen or early a young adult, and now I work with them, and so that's really a fun part of what I do.
Awesome. I love that. So tell me about the moment or the first experience when you worked with some of these artists that you grew up listening to and then had an opportunity to actually work with them. How was that moment coming to full fruition?
Oh, very exciting. Let me just tell you a little bit about my first real promotion of a show.
Okay. When was that too?
That was back in 2009.
2009.
Prior to that, I worked with a couple of guys. We were doing parties. We were doing DJ and local bands. And we had the opportunity to get Gerald Austin of the Manhattan. I have a friend who knew Gerald and said, well, why don't y'all do a show? And instead of just doing parties. So we agreed to do a show. And we had to change a few venues, but it ended up, we were going to do it at the Old Eclipse nightclub.
Okay.
But as we were working on doing the show, things sort of changed, and I ended up not working with the group, doing the show myself. And my friend who introduced me to Gerald Austin set it all up, and that was my first touch with a national artist. And Gerald, I can't say enough about him because he helped us to establish our seed money to get our business on the road.
Oh, that is
awesome. And after that, the second show I did, believe it or not, was Gene Chandler, the Duke of Earl.
Wow.
And he's a great guy. I ran into him at one of the parties that we were doing, and he was in town. And I just asked him, I said, Mr. Chandler, I've been a fan for years. I'm a new promoter. Would you consider
working with
doing
you.
doing a
Right.
show for me. You know, I don't have a lot of money, but
Right.
it would be a great opportunity, and he was nice enough to do it for me, and at a reasonable price. And that's the same way with Gerald. Those two I credit with really helping me to get started in this business, and I will always be in debt to them. And I let people know
I love that.
it was Gerald Alston and
Yes.
Gene, the Duke of Earl Chandler, that helped me get my start.
That's phenomenal.
And actually, while I'm shouting out people, I want to also shout out Darren Green and Michelle Daly of Zanzibar on the Waterfront.
Oh, yes. I love Zanzibar.
You're
naming all of the good spots. Because
they believed in an unknown promoter, and they allowed me to do my show there.
Yes.
And my very first show, like I said, was done at Zanzibar. I went to Mr. Green, and he said, well, you know, we don't normally do that, but I will give you a try. Good. And you know what?
That's all you need.
That's all I needed. We sold that show out there.
Yes, I love that.
They were so happy. As a matter of fact, we sold the show out, and I guess they weren't prepared for us because they didn't even have enough food
so you sold out of food.
To sell to the guests. So that was the start of it.
Wow.
And from then on, we've just been doing our thing.
Okay, so let's go back. So take us back. So in your childhood, when you were growing up, did you want to do music? Was music the inspiration? So how did you transition? What did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, it wasn't. I think it wasn't music. I've always loved music. Let me just tell you, I'm a preacher's kid. Okay. And I have 6 siblings.
Wow.
Well, I have five now, but we grew up in the church. My father was a pastor my whole life, so I spent a lot of time singing in choirs and loving music.
Yes.
When I was growing up, basically all that was played in my house was gospel music, stuff like a Harmonizing Four and that type of music. So, but I always loved music, and I really didn't start getting into R&B music until I went to high school. So that was really when I started listening to the R&B groups. But I've always loved music. Music has been something that my heart and soul. And I was particularly attracted to, like I say, live music. If there was a band somewhere, that's where I wanted to be. I went through my go-go phase, and I did it all.
We love our go-go. DC, we love our go-go.
Yes.
I love that. Okay, so this wasn't necessarily the path you wanted when you grew up, but then you found your way. So let's talk about when you were in college.
Right.
So in college, so when did your transition start from, so you went to school for project management, well, you went to school for your bachelor's in business administration. So what did you want to do with that at that time? Did you know that you was going to manage this type of business?
Yeah, I didn't know. In the back of my mind, first of all, I'm from a family of entrepreneurs.
Oh, wow.
My father was entrepreneurs. Several of my siblings were entrepreneurs, so I always had that in my background. But as far as when I went to Morgan State, like I said, I was a business major. I majored in business even in high school. And my degree was in management and with a minor in marketing. So I knew that I wanted to do something in the business field.
Love it.
You know.
Love it.
So actually, I sort of just backed into the government. You know, I worked for the Social Security Administration for 35 years.
Wow, so you're the same agency. So you stayed with the same agency?
Same agency, 35 years.
That is amazing.
And eventually I got into a position where I was, able to do some management. And that's that's really how I use my management degree and my business degree, and it is really, my education at Morgan really served me well.
Awesome. So since you went to school and then you started doing project management, can you tell us, some of the younger people out here that's listening to the program, what are a tool or two that you get from your project management that helps you with the business today?
Okay. Yes. The organization part of it, to be organized, to have a plan. Don't just do things helter skelter.
Helter skelter. I like that.
not at all. If you have a vision, you have to lay that vision out.
Absolutely.
You have to go step by step. Have a plan and execute your plan. You can't just go, like I say, helter skelter from one point to another with no goal in mind. And that's the way I use my business skills.
Yes.
I just like to make sure that everything is organized. I also like to document the things that I do, so that I won't have to relearn things, and
lessons learned.
And that's what it's all about. You don't have to keep reinventing the wheel.
That's right. The wheel is written.
I learn from other people who have done it before me. I have had several mentors, even in my work in the government, and especially in my business, my GP promotion business. I've had a couple of really great mentors that helped me along, because somebody has to teach you this business. You can't learn it on your own.
That's right.
So that's how I've used those skills.
So let's go back. So we're talking about, you started your GP promotions organization company, and so how was that first starting out? Like, what were some of the pitfalls that you experienced that you of course don't deal with now, but what were some of those challenges?
Well, it's the uncertainty. Because when you are a promoter, you're investing your money.
Absolutely. And a lot of money. People don't understand. Money and time.
You invest a lot of money, a lot of time.
Absolutely.
And you have to promote it. Yeah, I've spent a lot of times passing out flyers in front of the Verizon Center, Constitution Hall, about my shows, and people, they don't know me from Adam. I'm coming running up to them, passing out flyers. And you can, as a promoter, I had a lot of sleepless nights wondering if I was going to even just break even, you know, because, when you invest money, you have to put people in the seats, because you have to pay these artists.
Yes, you do.
And it's not an easy business. A lot of people start out trying to be promoters, but after they lose a few dollars, then they decide maybe that's not the business for me. I've taken my lumps in terms of losing money, but I've been fortunate. And that was in the very beginning, and when people didn't know you. Now that I'm known, I fortunately for me, now I have people coming to me to do shows for them. So
full circle. I
don't have to do a whole lot of investing of my own money.
That's right.
But I do have to make sure that the shows are successful for the people that I do the shows for, if I want to continue to work for them.
Absolutely. What would you say, or who would you say, a mentor throughout your journey with this music business and the promotions that helped you really say, you know what, I'm going to help you out to, I know you mentioned one individual, but that really took you by the hand and said, you know what, I'm going to help to ensure that you are successful. Who would that be?
Right. Well, I'd have to say Mr. Willie Bennett. I have to give Willie Bennett a shout out.
Okay.
When I first started doing shows, like I said, they were fairly successful in the beginning.
Okay.
And then I was approached by Skip Mahoney and the Casuals because I had done a show with them, and it was a fairly successful show, and they needed some management at the time.
Okay.
So they came to me to ask me if I would manage the group.
Okay.
And I stayed with them about 5 or 6 years.
Wow.
But I knew nothing about managing artists, entertainers. And Willie Bennett, who I've become very close with, he managed. That's what he did.
Wow.
That's what he does. He manages Enchantment.
That.
He manages the Floaters. He manages Ray Goodman and Brown.
Okay.
And several other artists. So I really relied on him for guidance as to how to manage artists, how to work with other artists, how to make contacts. He was nice enough to give me a lot of leads with regard to artists that I wanted to do shows with, and that Willie is definitely he's been really my go-to man.
Yes,
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And so I'd like to thank him. And
Yes.
hopefully he's watching today.
Yes,
but
we hope so, Willie. You
yeah,
are the man.
That's who you need to get on here.
Yes, Willie, if you want to be
man.
on the Impact with Robin Dorsey, call me or call him, and then
right.
let's make it happen. Willie.
Right.
Yes, I love that.
When I first met you, I was there as Willie's guest.
Oh, wow.
I think I forget who he had on that show, but he had Heatwave on that show.
It
I
was
believe.
a lot of great artists at that show. This was at the Showplace Arena.
Right, he had 2 or 3 acts on that show, so he was nice enough to take me by the hand and show me the ropes, and so. Yes, that was my mentor. He still continues to be my mentor.
I love that. Yes,
right,
yes, because you need one. You need somebody that's going to believe in you and pour into you. That's going to make your dream come true. Because ultimately, we do this so we can be successful and so that our dreams can come to fruition.
That's correct. That's correct.
So tell us. Okay, so what a lot of people want to know is, what does it take to put on a show such as the one you just did for the. Which band?
Feeling the Funk Band.
Feeling the Funk Band.
Oh, yes.
So what does it take to put on a production such as that? Do you have like 100 people on your team? How many people do you have on your team?
It depends on how big the show is. I've done some relatively big shows. Okay. But normally, I'll tell you one thing about me. I stay in my lane.
Okay.
I don't try to. I don't try to do shows at the Verizon Center, Constitution Hall. I usually most of my shows I do are venues 400, between 200 to 400.
Love it. I love
capacity, and most of the time they're one-act shows. Okay. I don't do a lot of multiple act shows, and usually my staffing is 3 to 4 people. Okay. I have and I have a photographer on staff, and I have 2 other people in my company that work on all the shows. So that's about it. But I have done some larger shows. I did do a show in Baltimore. I was fortunate enough to get hired by the AKA sorority. Yes. And they
shout out to the AKAs out there.
Right.
Yes.
They were doing their regional convention, and they hired GP Promotions to do the entertainment. Wow. And we had Eric Benet.
Yes, we love us some Eric Benet.
That's right, at the Baltimore Convention Center. So I had to take on some extra staff for that.
Oh, wow.
We had Eric Benet, Belladonna.
Yes, we love us some Belladonna in the DMV area.
DJ Cool. And
DJ Cool.
That was pretty large event for my company, but we executed the show. It was a fantastic show, well attended, and everything went like it was supposed to go.
Yes.
No glitches.
No glitches, thank God.
And that really was the crowning jewel of GP Promotions in terms of what we have done. But in terms of volume, we've done a lot of shows. Yeah,
Yes.
pretty much you name it with regard to artists. If it's old school R&B, I would have to say we've done it.
Okay. So I have a question that might get you in trouble. So we're going to apologize right now to all of the artists that he's worked with. But what we want to know is, who was your favorite artist to work with? I mean, it's been so many. But who was your favorite or your most monumental artist? So I'm not trying to get you in trouble. So we're so sorry if he doesn't mention you this time. But he still loves you.
I love all the artists that I've worked
That's
with.
That's such a great answer. Great answer.
But I've developed a real friendship with Gerald Austin of the Manhattans and Gene Chandler. I mean, we've really become friends, and I was always big fans of both of them, and now I consider them friends, and hopefully they consider me friends.
Yes,
so I would have to say Gerald Austin and Gene Chandler, and they're both amazing artists. Amazing. Yes.
Can you name one or two artists that you grew up loving that you might not have worked with yet, but want to work with? Have any that you haven't touched on just yet that you still need to add that to your genre list?
Well, there are a few artists, but that I would like to work with, but my money is not that long. Okay.
Maybe they might be able to work with you now that they're hearing, a shout out here on the show.
Right.
So you know, you never know. God makes things happen all the time.
Yeah, He makes things happen. If you could bring me Patti LaBelle.
Yes, Patti, can you hear us now?
If you could bring me Gladys Knight.
Yes, Gladys, come on over here to the DMV.
I'd love to work with either one of them.
Yes, we would love to have you all.
As far as that goes, since we're putting together a wish list,
yes,
you can bring me Charlie Wilson.
Yeah, we love us some Oh my goodness, Charlie Wilson, yes.
That's right, you can bring me Charlie Wilson. And if you can bring Charlie Wilson,
you got to add the Fantasia flavor. Because them their show is phenomenal together.
So that's what I'm saying. We're putting together a wish list. I'll take a Charlie Wilson.
Yes. See? Hey, it's not to Charlie. If you can hear us, you're always in the DMV. Come look up. GP Promotions. We would love to have you. We love you when you come into the DMV. And Patti and Gladys too. Come on over.
There you go. Thank you. Maybe
you never
your
know.
Word will make it happen.
You never know what's going to happen in the universe over here. I love that. But we're going to have to take a brief 60 seconds break here. We have to we're going to show a diabetes PSA. The diabetes walk is coming up September the 22nd in the National Monument. I am the ambassador for American Diabetes Association. So we're going to play this small PSA. And then when we come back, we're going to have some more fantastic questions. And I am getting questions from Facebook. So I might read some of yours live. So we'll be right back. My name is Robin Dorsey. I'm an American Diabetes Wellness Ambassador and Type 2 diabetic. I'm also a Red Strider. A Red Strider is a person living with diabetes. I want to tell you that you are not alone. There are 29 million Americans that suffer from diabetes.
My name is Amari Mom, and I'm here to stop diabetes.
I'm Major McKinley Lewis. I'm a Type 2 diabetic. You are not alone. Stop diabetes. My name is Isaac Clayton, Fort Washington, Maryland alumni chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. I have Type 2 diabetes, and you are not alone.
My name is Tornia. I have Type 2 diabetes. You are not alone.
We're not alone, so let's stop diabetes.
Miss Russell, I'm a Type 2 diabetic, and I'm walking so you don't have to stop diabetes.
I'm a Type 2 diabetic. Help stop diabetes.
I'm Rick Doc Walker, former Super Bowl champion with the Burgundy and Gold. And I'm here to help stop diabetes.
Stop diabetes!
Stop diabetes!
to the capital. Stop diabetes.
Stop diabetes.
Stop diabetes. We are the Q's. Stop diabetes.
Team Fitness, stop diabetes.
MJ All-Star, stop diabetes.
Stop diabetes. Ebony Wings, stop diabetes. Stop diabetes.
Support to stop diabetes.
Stop diabetes.
Visit www.diabetes.org for more information. Stop diabetes.
Welcome back to the Impact with Robin Dorsey. Thank you so much for joining us again. I hope you enjoyed the Diabetes PSA, and I hope you will join my team, the Impact with Robin Dorsey, on September the 22nd at the National Mall. I will be one of the walk MCs for the event, so you'll see me on the stage getting you all excited and pumped up for this wonderful walk. We can do this because you're not alone. 30 million people suffer from diabetes. You are not alone, so let's stop diabetes. Now, welcome back again. Thank you. So as we were speaking before the break, we had the phenomenal and fantastic Gerard Pinkney, and he was telling us all the great information about this music industry and business, how he got started, his love for the music, and just, how fantastic and fabulous he is. Yes.
Stop it.
So we're going to get into some other questions here because we want to know a little bit more about him. So so what are some of your wonderful and fantastic hobbies that you do?
Yes, I'm a big sports fanatic.
Okay,
That's what I grew up.
Wait a minute. Well, who is your team, please?
No, I'm a Washingtonian.
Okay, because if you said Dallas, we were going to have to end the show right now.
That's right. that would be a show ender. No, I'm
right.
a Redskin fan.
Yes, Redskins.
Yes. Wizards. The
Okay,
Capitals.
so yes, we like all the home
That's
teams.
right. I'm a home team, and I spent a lot of time playing sports as a young person. I played basketball. I played basketball at Central High School, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
And shout out to my teammates.
All right.
Class of '69.
Wow.
We won a state championship.
Okay.
That's right. I'm very proud of the fact that I'm a state championship winner.
That's right.
'69, we won it all.
So when y'all have y'all reunion, make sure y'all look out for him because he's shouting y'all out here.
That's right.
Y'all got to get together again.
Yes. I also enjoy dancing.
So you like to dance a little. What type of dancing do you do?
I grew up hand dancing.
Hand dancing. So are you smooth with it? Like how the people be moving and stuff?
I'm smooth with that. I tell people all the time, I don't even remember when I didn't know.
Oh my goodness. So you are cutting a rug up there so you can dance people off the floor, literally, huh?
I don't dance them off the floor, but I've also been an instructor. I think I may have taught hand dance for about 5 or 6 years. I don't remember how many.
Okay.
But I love to hand dance. I still go out and hand dance the usual places like VFW and Elks Lodge. Oh yeah.
Okay. They also do hand dancing at Harmony Hall a lot.
Yes. We get it. We get it in.
You get it in. I love that. I love that.
Yeah. So
who taught you how to hand dance?
Like I said, I don't remember because.
Because you were sneaking that hand dance. You weren't supposed to be hand dancing with being the PK kid.
That's right. But like I said, I can't even remember when I didn't know how to hand dance. And that's the truth.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't even remember. But I've been hand dancing all my life. And I love the hand dance.
Wow. So what if an amateur walked up? You at the on the scene and you get it in the amateur, they don't really know what they doing, but they see you looking all smooth and they just want to, hey, that's what you do.
Right. Well,
what you do? What do you do?
Like I said, I've been an instructor. I can.
You can lead.
I can lead.
Yes, he can lead.
I can take you whatever level you are. Make you look like you know what you're doing.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Fake it until you make it, beginners.
If you're a good hand dancer, you can make people look like they know what they're doing.
Yes.
So I do that. I tell the ladies all the time that I dance with, just do what you do, and I'll make sure I turn you on the right beat, so people will think you know what you're doing.
Yes.
So, it's
so you have people out here thinking after they dance with you that they're professionals.
Well,
is that how you roll?
They think they know what they're doing.
I love it.
I know. Let me stop.
It's okay. It's okay. I love that. So it's not just all business. You know how to let your head down and have a good time.
I love to let my hair down and have a good time.
So let me ask you another question. Here we go.
Yes.
Here we go. So you have these wonderful R&B concerts, and you're behind the stage when the concert's going on. So are you back there bopping and everything because you feeling the music? What you doing in the background? That's what we want to know.
I'm back there enjoying the music and making sure everybody is on cue, hit the stage at the right time.
Yes.
And I like to start shows on time.
Yes,
and I like
that's
to
so important.
End them on time.
That is so important.
And make sure everybody's in place. It's a lot of work producing a show.
Yes, it is.
It's a lot of preparation and showtime. It's a lot of work to make sure everybody is in place and doing their job.
Yes.
And if one of my shows fails, it's my responsibility, and I don't like to fail.
That's right. Failing is not an option.
No, it's not an option. So
yes.
I'm very hands-on.
Good.
When it comes to doing the shows and producing shows.
So we have a comment here from Thomas Rich. GP Productions is in the house. Well done, my brother. Can't go wrong with the Duke of Earl of Gerald Austin and the Manhattan. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. Thomas is my fraternity brother from Morgan State University.
Wow, okay.
That's right. He's a pastor now. I'm so proud of Thomas.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes, I'm very proud of him.
And then we also have Betty Schuler says hello, and Holly House. So everyone's saying hello. So we have people here watching to see what we're talking about here. They want to know what you got to say.
Oh, I got a lot to say. I have some upcoming shows
that we're going to talk about that too.
They would be very interested in attending.
So y'all want some good R&B, soul, funk. You're going to have to listen up to what's coming up next, because you do not want to miss this. I'm telling you.
No, you don't.
I love it. So, tell us also, what inspires you to keep going, though? Because it's hard work. It's not easy.
It is hard work, and that's sort of an easy question for me because
I like that.
When I do these shows, I watch the people. So
you pay attention to your audience.
I pay attention to the audience and the joy that they exude during the show. There are not really a lot of promoters doing things for the
old school
seasoned
artists,
groups and audience. So I feel like not only am I doing something I enjoy, but I feel like it's a service.
Yes.
It's a service. People enjoy my shows. As soon as I have a show, the first question that I get is, when is the next one?
Yes, and that's a good problem to have.
I like that. And I like entertaining people. I like bringing them quality shows.
Yes, quality shows. That makes a difference.
My audience is very appreciative, and I enjoy that.
I love that.
So that's what keeps me going.
So for your artists that you bring on, so do you have an opening act? How to host? You need a host? Because, I can always come host for you on one of your shows now. Let me know.
Okay, I'll let you know that.
But how does it normally go? How does your show flow?
Normally, I like I said, I do mostly one act shows. Sometimes I'll do two acts. It depends. But usually I MC them, but actually I MC the shows from behind the curtain.
Really? You know, okay, the man behind the curtain.
Right, I don't, I'm not.
So you're the wizard.
Yeah, I'm not too much out front on stage person.
Okay.
But I do host the shows and announce the acts. Okay. And when you're only, like I said, when you're doing a one-act show, you don't have
so it's not too difficult. You have 4 or 5 people to keep on. Coming up next. Coming up next. Coming up next.
So I don't really require a lot of MCs or anything like that. That's generally the way I handle it. So it's things flow real nice that way, and that's what I do.
Yes. So with your GP Promotions company, do you just work with the larger organizations, or do you work with some smaller groups as well and say, hey, they wanted to book you, hire your company? What type of scale of clientele do you work with?
I've had people come to me, they're having a retirement party or birthday party, and they want to act.
Okay.
And I'll recommend the act, and I'll produce their show. It's
you don't discriminate.
At all.
Yeah.
I just appreciate the business. You know, I appreciate the fact that they trust me because I mean, somebody's retirement party or 60 and 70th birthday party, that's a very important event, and they want it done right. And so, that's not a problem. I have some great artists that I have an extensive list of artists, and so I have an artist for every occasion.
Good. I love that. I love that. And so, what would you say from in your history of doing this? What was the most expensive event that you put together, and what was the more economical event that you put together? What is your range of wonderful events? Because they can get pretty expensive, lighting equipment, artists, flying from this place, that place. It can add up very quickly.
Well, I'd have to say, budget-wise, it would definitely have to be the Eric Benet show.
Okay.
We had people coming from all over the country, and of course, an act like that is very expensive.
Yes, it
Anytime
is.
you do acts that currently have music out there, like I do a lot of old school. They're not still recording. They depend on their bookings. That's right. But when you have artists like Eric Benet who in demand, and they're out there recording now, have new music all the time, they're very expensive, and it's very expensive to produce a show like that. So sometimes it takes a well-funded organization behind you to produce that type of show. So I've done that, and in terms of my own show, GP Promotions, this last show, Feeling the Funk band, this was a concept that I came up with because I just felt like we're not getting enough funk here in DC.
That's
we get a lot of
everything
R&B
else,
crooning, and we get a lot of go-go. But I was interested in getting some 70s funk, so that was my concept, and I hired the best musicians that I believe would suit the purpose, and they did an excellent job. It was a great concert, and it wasn't a concert where I knew I was going to make a lot of money, but I knew that it would be very entertaining, and it was something that I wanted. I grew up with that funk, and I just wanted more funk. So,
that's right.
I was happy. I was celebrating my birthday on that day, so
happy
it was
belated birthday.
Right, it was a great day for me, and it was a great day for all the audience that came out and enjoyed it.
So really, it wasn't a real concert for you. Was just throwing yourself a secret birthday party for
There
400
you
people.
go.
That's what that
There
was.
you go.
And you
Now
just
you know.
you tried to cover it up, but now we see. Yes,
Yeah,
I love that.
Exactly, and it was a party, and the band was outstanding.
Yes.
They were definitely on point.
I love that.
Yes.
So one of my wonderful Facebook listeners, viewers, has revealed one of your secrets, another one of your talents and secrets. So we have to ask you about that, of course. So they said, Miss Seal says the man can sing. She didn't say sing. She said sing. Ask him about the skin tight done by him last week, and we want to know. We want to hear this.
Well, you know. Okay, let me just
yeah, they telling secrets on here, so you might want to be careful.
Yeah, no, let me just tell you. It was a surprise to everyone. Not quite everyone, but I was surprised when they called me up on stage and sung "Happy Birthday" to me.
Aww.
So I said, okay, y'all want to surprise?
Right.
Y'all want to surprise people, huh? So I just told my MD, strike me up some skin tight.
Right.
None of the musicians had ever seen me sing or do anything like that. They were a little surprised, but the fact of the matter is, like I said, I'm a preacher's kid.
Okay.
I grew up singing in choirs. I'm from a singing family, but since they never saw me sing before, they probably assumed that I couldn't. But
so, of course, without further ado, my guests would like to hear it. So give us a ballad, a melody, a tune, or something. Come on, you can't be shy now. We are live. You cannot deny our fans here, some wonderful melodies.
I can't believe you.
Hey, Miss Steels put it out there. You're going to have a talk with her later. So now that she brought it up, now you have to enlighten us.
I need my band behind me.
You need the band.
That's right. Funk music doesn't sound good sung a cappella. So
okay, we're going to get him on the next one. Don't you even worry.
I'll tell you what, though. Just go on my Facebook page. Just look me up. Send me a friend request. And you can see all of my singing. And you can sing.
We're going to go watch that.
That's right. You can see all the great music that was played by Phil and the Funk Band. So you'll have your opportunity to hear me sing. Just go on my Facebook page.
What is your Facebook page? Share with them your social media outlets.
Okay, certainly. My personal page is Gerard Pinkney. Send me a friend request. I also have a GP Promotions fan page. And I have plenty of video on that. It's GP Promotions, so you can check that out. And my website is www.gp-promotions.com. And I have a lot of great pictures, shows, past shows, a lot of great video, and a lot of great entertainment for the old school R&B fan. So I'd love for you to go on my website.
Awesome.
Yes.
Also, you have some more fantastic and phenomenal shows coming up. Tell us about your upcoming show so we can all go and participate.
Yes, I'd love for you to participate. I have to go to my notes now.
Okay, no problem. Okay. What you have for us? What
I have for you coming up is let's see, on September, the evening of your event. No, that's not true. September the 15th, I'll have David C. David C. was the lead singer for Dennis Edwards' Temptation.
Okay.
This brother can really sing.
Really? David
I'm going to tell you the truth. This brother can really sing. He'll be at Harmony Hall at 8 o'clock p.m. Okay. That's a Saturday night, and that's David C., former lead singer of Dennis Edwards' Temptations. I have him on September the 15th. I have a few other things going on. On September the 22nd, I'll be up in New York.
Yes, that's the one everybody been talking about. So you're going to do a cruise?
Yeah, I'll be doing
in New York.
That's right.
Hello, my New York fans. Listen to this because he's about to tell us about a New York show.
Yeah, it'll be a cruise on the Hudson with Gerald Austin and the Manhattans.
Yes.
And that'll be very exciting. That's on Saturday, September the 22nd. Then
where can they, before we go to that one, where could they buy tickets? Is it on your website, or you have a link for that to share?
Yes, if they go on my page, there's information as to how you can get it. It's on the website also.
Okay.
How you can buy tickets, and there's still tickets left for the cruise.
Right.
Actually, it's a whole weekend event, but they've sold out the bus trip. The bus is leaving from Baltimore, going up, and it's they're going to spend the night. They're going to do some shopping, and I think another play or something during the day. But right now, all they have left is tickets for the show, the cruise, that Saturday evening. So that's the next thing that GP Promotion will be doing. And I didn't mention earlier that I do international stuff too.
So give us like something that you're doing internationally.
Right. I'll be taking Bloodstone to Augsburg, Germany, and we have Take to the hot sky with natural high. Bloodstone.
Okay.
I'll be taking Bloodstone to Germany on November the 2nd. And that's going to be a great show. Those Germans really like their soul music, and we really party when we go over there. I've been over there several times. I've taken Skip Mahoney and the Casuals over there a couple of times, and I've taken Ray Goodman and Brown, and also Russell Tompkins' New Stylistics. So I'll be going back there to see my German friends. November the 2nd. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, some things I have coming to Harmony Hall is in the future is I'll have Gene Carn coming into Harmony Hall. I have Skip Mahoney and the Casuals. I also later in November, I believe, I have I have Ray Goodman and Brown coming to Public Playhouse. Okay. So I have a few things scheduled.
I love it. Well, we would love to thank you so much for being a part of the Impact with Robin Dorsey, because you are awesome and phenomenal, as we stated. So I'm glad that you came on the show and was able to tell us some wonderful things that you had going on. Can you give us some of our younger viewers and some of the older viewers who are looking to get into this entertainment or promoting business, maybe a tip or two of what their expectations should be, or what they should do to bridge that gap?
Well, I would suggest you have a talk with someone who has actually done it. Okay. So that that's good advice. You know what you're getting into. It's a risky business, but it can also be very fulfilling if you love people and you love to bring joy to people. It's an excellent business to get into because music, people love music. Music is so therapeutic.
Yes,
that's exactly right.
Yes.
So the bottom line is talk to someone in the business and reach out to them to find out really what it's all about. And then you can determine whether or not it's
for you. Because everything is not for everybody. Let me just tell you.
It's not for everybody, but it's, like I say, it's a very fulfilling business.
Yes. Well, I love it, and thank you so much. I am so honored for you to be a part of my guest. So thank you. You are wonderful, and we're gonna make sure our guests, hook up with you so they can attend some of your wonderful events coming up.
Right.
But without further ado, so I cannot end the show without thanking my wonderful and fantastic sponsors. So we have Resurgence Beauty Lounge, who does my hair and my makeup. Thank you, Vetta. You are awesome and phenomenal. We have DChristopherCommunications. Donnie, thank you for my show's intro and music. Couldn't have done it without you. You are wonderful all the way in LA. Yes. We also have Father Time and Co. and Company, my cousin Jay, doing some amazing things as a father out here, inspiring and motivating young fathers to be a part of their children's life, not because you have to be, because you want to be, and because you know it's the right thing to do. And lastly, Crafted Web Designs. Thank you so much, Robert, from all of your visual arts and things. You are appreciated. But again, this was the Impact with Robin Dorsey. I cannot do this without my fantastic guests, friends, families, and supporters. Without you, there is no me. And I truly love you and appreciate you for being a part of me. You truly inspire me to continue to do this every week. So I thank you so much. And I will continue. So same time, same place here next Friday. We have another wonderful guest. I'm not going to tell you who it is just yet. So you have to wait to see the flyer on Facebook. But this was the Impact with Robin Dorsey here at WBGR Sports and Entertainment Network with Gerard Pinkney. Thank you so much and have a great night.
Thank you.